brothers and sisters, generals, salute. Current subscriber, new subscriber, anybody that view, I salute you and I thank you. And may that great divine just come in our life, keep us strong and keep us prospering and keep us seeing clear in this life, And I salute my family, my divine family, my biological family. I salute my biological children, my divine children. And again, may that great divine, I call down protection as I always do. You hear me say this all the time. Protection from that great divine for ourselves and from ourselves, folks. So we never ever become our own worst enemy, because we won't see great things in life when we give in to that so-called enemy that can sometimes be deep within that core. Because as you hear me say again 1,000,000 times, that psyche is where the hardest battles are fought. Real talk. And we learn this on this walk. And it's, again, it's not about sounding intelligent or saying a bunch of intelligent words. No, it's about being intelligent. And intelligence, most of us hear this, and I said this before, it's more than just college or books or education. No, it's a way of life, sharp awareness, doing things even when no one's looking, when it's not easy. That's intelligence. Seeking greater things to better oneself and having the gift of passing it on to others. Again, righteous ripple effect. You hear me say 1,000,000 times too. We start with ourselves, children, family, work our way out to the generals and warriors and our wonderful spell breakers in our midst. So if I didn't say it already, welcome to another edition of EBX Discussion. Thus, EBX and Lord Lamont show. And salute to Lord Lamont. And I texted him last night. He texted me back this morning. We're still gonna have a music session. I think we're gonna do a Saturday music session / podcast, because I think I do want to discuss some things so we can express some stuff and get it out of us, so he can get it out of him, because it's good therapy too. When we get serious and we have a good cause in our subconscious, that's what make music and any gift we have, whether it's a platform or not, just any kind of righteous expression of oneself, communication, getting things up out of us, getting underneath all the crap we've carried throughout the years, and then getting to that, when the clouds clear from the sky and the sun comes in and starts shining. That's what it is. That's what it's like when one is really true to themselves, to the core of that soul, and fight through all the fires, because it's levels. It's not easy. We ain't talking about an overnight thing. We talking about it can be a long journey to get to a place of, awareness and paying attention and really understanding and understanding what intelligence is really about. Because if one has integrity, brother, sister, family, male or female, I'm telling you, you got that integrity embedded deep in one's subconscious. You tell me what could fuck with us, even through the times when it's not easy, And paranoia shouldn't even be in our vocabulary. No, it's sharp awareness. We get to a place of awareness. We just know what it is. Now, will we fumble sometimes? Maybe, depending on who we are, as brother, sister, male or female. Will we miss things sometimes? Yes, we're human. That's another thing that keeps us grounded in intelligence, knowing that we're human, but our intentions is what's important. And it's for me, it's for anybody, what's in our intentions. It always leads back, no matter where we go on this journey or how far we go, especially if we're doing something toxic, like my son and I, Lord Lamont, salute, like we always say. And no matter how educated we are, how much we know, something all of us can agree on. Life is like a full circle, and that great divine and mama nature, whatever it is that we have put out to that wonderful universe, or whatever's out there that absorbs energy, whether good or bad. We all have experienced the going out, coming back thing, so all of us can agree on, life is like a full circle, whether it's a late circle or a soon circle. It's not a matter of if, always comes back around, right? So we all can agree on that. So that's why it's important what we do in the present, And I'm telling you again, just do a little introspection. That introspection is what keeps us in check. It's like a invoice on our life, our past, present, and somewhat a hinkling into the future. But again, when we're not running and busy and paying attention to these things, because even when I'm not speaking, I'm still analyzing, observing, studying, because again, I remember when I first started doing podcasts and speaking and stuff, I used to just jump on. Now it's more of now I analyze, I study, read, and research, and it's fun actually, and when you take it more serious, sometimes you don't even realize how focused one is, because this is levels to this, but once a brother, sister, family, once one is aligned, you won't even be paying attention. You just be in your zone, your divine zone, that is, and that's whatever passion. Remember, trillion billion gifts, brothers and sisters, great divine and mama nature has for all of us. But it's just the way great divine has given some cultures a different type of magnetism, or a different way of manifesting, thus melanated brothers and sisters. And that's not putting black people over nobody. It's facts. It's just things that we can do that other cultures can't do. Every culture has something a little different in their culture, or race, whatever you want to call it. I don't like that word race. I say culture. And I don't want to get too deep, but to be honest, culture to me sounds like something of color. Race sounds like something that's outside of culture. That's just one's opinion. That's something that's always kind of tinkered around in one's spirit. I think it's a difference between race and culture, because just listen to the words. Now, this is just an opinion now. This is just the EBX opinion. Not saying it's a fact or nothing, but just listen to the words. The word culture, it even rolls off your tongue a little smoother. Now, listen to the word race. Race. It sounds like something, I don't know, artificial. It's race. It don't sound smooth. It sounds stern and intense. That's what it sounds like. But culture, it sounds smooth. It sounds like something colorful. The word race doesn't sound like something colorful. But I kind of spoke on this, maybe a couple years ago, but that's just something I was tinkering around in one spirit. But that's a whole nother podcast. But I'm just saying, just something about black people, especially when we tap in, when we truly and we're real to the soul, and we are righteous. I'm telling you. And we've seen, again, historians, people that living in the present, whether or it could be someone we know in our family, or I'm talking about just in general, how amazing black people can be when we are finally, emphasis on finally, aligned. An alignment can just, not taken away from humanity and our culture. It ain't got to be this big special thing. Just doing righteous right where we are. And it matters, because again, I always say small or big, because it's a vibration. If we could study energy, learn about energy, we will kind of understand it, overstand it, and understand it a little better. That's why I say now, when we take our passion serious, whatever ability this is now, it'll show. We'll feel it. Again, we lose ourselves in it. We won't even pay attention to time. So, all right, that was just a little positive intro, and thank those that's been commenting and riding along and commenting and stuff. I appreciate you, and because I too listen to speakers out there, and it's nothing more beautiful than an intelligent brother or sister that comments on these platforms and stuff. So salute to the great content creators out there, because I listen to brother and sister. I've been listening to a lot of sisters lately, some funny and some intelligent, and it's wonderful to kind of get different views from different generals out there. I salute you, and I thank you, especially my underground brothers and sisters that don't give a damn about limelight. And that goes to family, brothers and sisters in the world, online. Y'all know how I do it. Surround, over, above, and beyond view. It's wonderful to be in that space, but it could take practice, awareness, learning, all those great things that build a great general. And as we see on the banner, I like to call it a nature podcast. And I just want to share, everyone has a divine ability and or skill, small or big. I say this from time to time. So that's what this banner is a depiction of. Getting away from the the same old, and watch out for the trends. I always say this could be an opinion or theory. Trends breeds prediction, makes you predictable. Be unpredictable. And again, I'm not talking about to our loved ones. I'm talking about be unpredictable to these evil, wicked entities on the outside of our righteous circles. Do something different, and stay focused. Don't forget to have fun. Don't let this world take our joy, our human faculties. Don't let this world make us forget that we're human, thus AI and all that bullshit. That's becoming a flop. I even think scientists even seeing like, wait a minute, what do we do? What are we doing? That AI shit, you gotta be careful of that because you could lose yourself. And I think it was some kind of reality. They got a show now. Is it AI or not? I mean, that's crazy. But these are things that a lot of us predicted, years ago. So not really a surprise, but how fast it's coming and where it came from is still a mystery. And I've heard old interviews like Bruce Lee. I was actually just listening to Bruce Lee. I did a podcast with Bruce Lee. Got the most views I've ever gotten on that podcast. And I salute to those who gave me those views and stuff on that podcast. I appreciate it. Salute. It was I just had it in the preview, the returning subscribers when you put it in the preview. It was 2,000. I think it's up to 2,247 views, something like that. So salute to that, so as far as I'm concerned, I've reached my goal. I've because there are those that inspired me, so I just grabbed that righteous torch and pass it on to one spell breakers, those who view, and I just wanted to reach people, with music and, like I said in my description, positive word, whatever I can do. And I think I reached that goal because, again, we get up in levels of awareness, real awareness, or age, and we get wise and we understand this world a little better. Our goals tend to change. We look at it more as just getting a big house or a car or this great job. No, goals tend to change when you really, seriously become aware of what this world is, and you're not in that rat race. When you pull yourself out of that rat race, and you stop that hamster wheel, and you're like, wait a minute, and you I always say, running on a hamster wheel, waiting on that pellet, you slap that pellet away, and you jump off that hamster wheel. It's like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, skirt. It's like you back up from the whole world, person, place, thing, and you start doing it more and more as one becomes more grounded in their awareness and, education. And, we finally pulled ourselves out that punk ass matrix. And then we begin to see this world for what it is. And then that's when the world becomes interesting. Real talk, like, wow, I've been doing this all this time. Again, I reiterate, I say all the time, a lot of things we begin to see as we get older or, higher levels of awareness are things that's been there all the time. We as humans just don't pay attention. Great divine mama nature put signs in front of us all day, every day. We just got to be in the space to see it. And it's beautiful when we finally do. But it can be a long journey, right? But enjoy the journey too. That's why I say don't give in too much of this AI shit. Stay grounded in our humanity. You'll love yourself later. And it keeps us looking young. Always think about our immune system. Now, I'll say, I'm not this big health nut or nothing like that, but I tell you what, one becomes more aware of their body if they get serious, and when Great Divine does call us for something, whatever that is, a purpose we have, it wants us to be healthy, mind, body, and soul, so we can carry out whatever we need to carry out in this life. And again, don't focus so hardly on having so hardly on just having a platform and the regular old traditional goals. Like I said, I have reached my goal. I have done what Great Divine has called one to do, and I'm doing that even when it's not easy, because trust me, folks, EBXCARES have battles too, because that's another thing that sends out a good vibration. Be fucking honest with ourselves, as honest as possible, even in the midst of a mistake. Be honest then too. It's just better that way. And it keeps us from anxiety. Stay away from anything that builds anxiety, toxic anxiety. Just be honest, No such thing as embarrassment when one knows themselves. Sometimes we can be funny, so tap into our goofy side sometimes. We can be funny too. Don't let this world make us become a fucking robot. Real talk. Brother, sister, family, in the world, online. And reach inside and just know. Everyone has a divine ability and or skill, small or big. Remember that. Not star status, not fame, don't let money motivate us. Don't compare ourselves. As I reiterate that advice from Cat Williams, I love to use. Don't let our own Don't let our own plate of food get cold looking at somebody else's plate. Real talk. So that's danger. We all can be some powerful kings and queens in this life. That's what that great divine has called many of us melanated brothers and sisters to be. And it's beautiful. And there are a lot of generals in our families, in the world. Again, maybe some social media presence, some not, And salute to those who can deflect the power of the media and or social media, news, celeb, politics, etc., and really able to sift through it, because that can be a challenging thing to do. Real talk. I am not playing, and have you thinking some kind of way and tapping into our emotions. But I'm telling you, it could take studying. It's a lot of levels, things you have to do to maintain. But I'm telling you, it's the most beautiful thing in the world when one can master themselves. Man, I know we hear that a lot, but it's beautiful when we can. And I say again, folks, EBX cares, have battles too, but I'm fighting them like Tyson. Salute Tyson. Everything that come at me, boom, bam, I'm on it. You know what I'm saying? So study oneself. It's wonderful. Look at it as a challenge, not as don't look at it as a dramatic thing. Look at it as a warrior thing, warrior mode, go in warrior mode, refuse to let anything make us not be what that great divine has called us to be, to tap into those abilities and or skills. Some I learned listening to Bruce Lee. He said, write down our expressions, see our thoughts on paper so we can see what they are. And also Bruce Lee said, don't plagiarize our thoughts. Don't try to be all intelligent and use big words. He said, be honest from our soul and write it on paper. And that's wonderful. Like I said, we can get jewels from anywhere if we're receptive to learn, so salute, rest in peace and in power, Bruce Lee, who was a very powerful philosopher and martial artist, as we all know. And I was watching this skit on Bruce Lee, and he had a board on a log, and he was showing how to defeat fear, because he said fear has a lot to do with balance. And it was an old Johnny Carson talk show, and he was on this log, on this board, and he was just balancing himself like it wasn't nothing. He said if he was all tense and fearful, he would fall off the board and the log. And it reminded me of my son. I bought my son a hoverboard, and my son took to it. My son has no fear. I'm talking about Ethan. As a child, we have no fear. Salute to Brother Kwaku. I remember he talked about this. This is something that he said. I don't want to take it from him, but it's so true. We got to go back to that childlike fearlessness. Because I remember as a child, I wasn't scared of nothing. It's like we become adults and we become fearful of things. Some of us, And when Bruce Lee was on that board, on that log, it reminded me of Ethan. And Ethan don't fear nothing. He ain't scared of animals, dogs, nothing. The hoverboard. So I bought him this hoverboard. It was kind of a reward because he was being good, good behavior and stuff like that. And he got on that hoverboard and just riding that. I got video footage too of him riding it, and just all over the place like it ain't nothing. So I tried to get on there. I'm not gonna lie, I failed. And it wasn't because I didn't know how to ride the hoverboard. It's because I was fearful of me falling. And that's what Bruce Lee was saying. He said we have to conquer that fear within, because actually that's what hinders us from pursuing or pursuing or seeking out our skill or expressing it. That fear is what stopped us. I was like, wow, that's dope. So, and that's what it was, because he said when you have balance, and he was talking about when he was on that board, and think about it, a board on a log. Think of how many of us could do that. And he was just on there rocking and rolling, and he made it look so easy. He said because he's not fearful of himself falling. So we have to conquer that fear, because a lot of times that's the base of a lot of times why we don't let things, I'm talking about good things that we've harbored maybe for years. Because I was kind of like that. Like when it comes to music, I spoke on hip hop, or I did it for a long time and let nobody know. It was fear. We got to be honest, so I really learned a lot from listening to Bruce Lee, and it reminded me of Ethan. When I got on that hoverboard and I fell because I had a fear of falling. But if I would have just jumped on there and had no fear and been strong and faced it, I'd probably ride that thing just like him. So I said, I'm going to face that fear. I'm going to get that hoverboard. I'm going to try to ride it. And now, of course, a little bit of that fear is going to be in there because I've never rode a hoverboard. But I know when I do it and I don't fall and I learn it, I'm like, wow. So that's, I'm just kind of speaking on myself, but that's in life in general. Conquer any little fears we have, real talk, because it can't hold us back from something that great divine just sitting there and just waiting to show us, Mother Nature too, as brother, sister, family. So that was just something I wanted to share. And of course, I'm gonna have a hip hop break. I gotta have a hip hop stimulation break. And thank those who coming into another nature podcast with the beautiful water and the mountains. And as I said, I'll show nature podcasts from time to time. And I also said in the past, I used to have dreams about water a lot. I haven't in a while, but I used to have dreams about water a lot. And I researched it and studied it. And as I've said, those who dream about water or the sky or stuff like that, it's the indication that we're deep thinkers. So if you dream about water, go deeper into it, study it. But it's different for different folks, because we all could dream about water, but it could mean different things. That's why everyone should study and seek things on their journey and find out what our ability and or skill or purpose is, small or big, brothers and sisters. So I'm gonna get to this hip hop break, and I got 4 spell breaker statements, and I did want to read 2 pages from my book, Solitude Strength, and it's going to be page 5 and page 6. And I was supposed to volunteer today, I'm gonna be honest, but I didn't go. And I see Ethan on the weekend. Sometimes I make it to a school, sometimes I don't. And because sometimes I have to get rest, I just being honest, so, but I'm still involved, with the school and stuff. It's just sometimes I had to, because that's why I say, when I'm not working, I'll be able to, it's not an excuse, we still got to do what we got to do anyway. But, we got to rest the body, so that's just all what I'm saying, being honest can be, it's needed. It's no negotiation with being honest with oneself, period. So I'm going to put a period in that. But just after, like I said, I was going to keep those posted because I was supposed to go today. But I was feeling this in one spirit, and salute to the children because I have, like I said, I have been doing it. I've been volunteering probably 3 going on 4 years. So I do miss days here and there, but I've been pretty consistent, and I have come to know the children and the faculty really well. And they're really great when I go there. So salute to them. And I always miss it when I'm not there. Real talk. I do be thinking about it. So I do feel bad when I don't go, for real talk. So, but sometimes I do have to get rest and keep my body rejuvenated, because we gotta, as I like to say, when Martin Luther King said, "We shall overcome." I say we have overcome and overcame, but now we have to study, research, and explore and fight in our psyche in that battleground to maintain, brothers and sisters. Real talk. So let's get to this hip hop break, and I want to get back to these 4 spellbreaker statements, like I said, in 2 pages, page 5 and 6 from Solitude Strength, and 4 spellbreaker statements. Did I say that already? Yeah, and get back into that, and just keep sharing how everyone has a divine ability and or skill, small or big. We just, we can't look at things that's before us, that's hindering us, as I like to say, because we won't see what's beyond that can be beautiful for each and every one of us, especially melanated brothers and sisters. All right, so I'm gonna get to this hip hop break, and see, I don't exactly remember what the songs were. Let's see. Yep, and I just like the beautiful, like I said, I used to dream about water a lot. So you'll see nature podcasts like this from time to time. Let me see. All right. Let me see. Thank those for riding along. Appreciate you. The first song is Any Means Necessary. And the second one is Opportunity. And remember, it's the unity, is the word unity is in the word opportunity. And for a reason. But let's get to the first song. And I played both of these before. Like I say, sometimes it's for people who haven't heard it or reminders. But let's get to the first one. Any Means. And Any Means Necessary, actually. That's the name of it. And let me see. I got to work with the old computer. All right. Any means necessary, brothers and sisters. We exude and express our gifts, and we be soldiers and be in the business of building generals, brother, sister, family in the world, online. We pass that torch on to others and put that fire in them by any means necessary. Be back after this.
My sisters and my brothers, I'ma lift your soul by any means necessary. I'ma lift your soul. My sisters and my brothers, by any means necessary. I'ma lift your soul. Lifting up, I try to touch, cause it's rough. Keep doing good, my sisters, my brothers, my family, and others. My father, my mother, no kitchen, my children, no hating. It's all love, and what I got is from up above. Always rock, I never stop. I understand it called hip-hop. For you to make it through, inside the words, and don't you pop. Stay great, don't be fake. We live the youth and pave the way. Teach those to reach goals and keep on, just lift the souls. Shit. My sisters and my brothers, by any means necessary. I'ma lift your soul. I know sometimes we rumble, but in this life stay humble and watch out, yeah, for mistakes. I know sometimes we fumble. Stay straight, it's never too late. Keep looking up and be great. Cause good things in this life, yeah, man, is coming on the way. I love doing this here. Yeah, like the stuff. Cause sometimes you're in this life, man, sometimes you're inconsistent. But keep on, yeah, pushing up. And never don't you be down. Just look at life and be thankful that we here and still around. Still around, still around. I will lift your soul by any means necessary. My sisters and my brothers, I will lift your soul by any means necessary. My sisters and my brothers, you never give up out there. It's those that have been through the fire, and we still standing. So be that hero, be that soldier ready. You are. And keep on lifting souls.
Real talk, brothers and sisters. Reachers and teachers. That's for y'all, People who out there doing their thing. Keep on lifting souls. Real talk is so needed in these times. Real talk. That's why I say I want things I don't play with. I don't play with God. The real God now. The real divine. Remember, we ain't talking about the pleasure ride. We talking about the real one. That's why I show things like this on my banner and stuff. And because I try to, what I don't try. I see things through that great divine lens. I take it way more serious. Again, we get a little more serious and levels of awareness or age. We'll see this world in a whole different light, especially when we bust out that old punk ass Matrix. Matrix is a small thing to me. I've studied the Matrix inside and out, left side, upside and down. Real talk. So I know what it is. It's wonderful to get in that space. And a lot of us are. Real talk. And the opportunity, brothers and sisters, to do the right thing. And that's what got a lot of us in the space that we are in. Brother, sister, family in the world, online, and I am thankful for the opportunity because you know what? and I was talking about volunteering a little while ago, even though I'm missing days and stuff like that. See, this is why this is in a prime example what we do in the present, because I say this phrase a lot. What we do righteous in the present will ultimately benefit us in the future. Now, even though I just said a little while ago, I feel bad about not being volunteering and stuff like that. But when I retire from my job, that's something that I'll be able to do. See, it's really not lost time. It's just something that's in the making for the future. See, when we're making right choices, sometimes we can get a inkling of our goals we're making. Sometimes divine and just surprise us. And that's what I'm talking about. See, that's why it's good as brother, sister, family to be in a righteous space all the time if we can, because those opportunities will arise. So me volunteering at this school is not an accident. And, when I feel bad about not being there and stuff, that's that empathic part of me, brother, sister, anybody listening, brother, sister, fan in the world online, those that just doing what we supposed to do in this life, where we just an upright human being or we're deep spiritual brother, sister, or family. Be thankful, because right things come to those who do right, they're putting out right things. Even, I'm telling you, when a person is just good in their heart right off the bat, good things will come ultimately, even when we're not looking for it. That's how the great divine and Mama Nature works, It's wonderful. So again, opportunity is on the horizon as far as this school with me volunteering, because even when my son's not there, I still will be involved. See, and that's wonderful. And I do think I've had some impact on some of the kids, because it inspires them, and I show them all love when I do go there. I don't just, show it to my son. I try to interact with all of them, interact with the faculty and stuff. It's nice, it's a wonderful environment. I've never felt any weird vibes or anything from the faculty at that school. They always welcome me in. It's wonderful. So it's beautiful. And I work in the lunchroom, and I'm the hall monitor. I love the lunchroom. And so that's where I'll enjoy myself when the retirement comes, and it won't even feel like work, because it's something that I'll enjoy. Because do we know, like I say, we have to study ourselves and figure out what that great divine has called us for. Again, it could be small, big, because when we're looking for something beyond, sometimes we'll miss what's right there in front of us sometimes, or we can't see beyond if we're hindered by something in front of us, or something could be in front of us that's righteous and we miss it, so that's why I say you can't get wrapped up in comparing ourselves and looking at things on social media, and just do what that great divine has for us right in our little space. But we rise, we don't stay in a small space, but we start out small, but our thinking can be huge, like this banner, above and beyond the horizon. As I love this, you hear me say that 1,000 times. I try to I keep one in that divine lens, and see what that great divine sees. Great divine is the most powerful, and Mama Nature, the two most powerful forces we'll ever experience. It's not this little small itty bitty thing. So, and we aren't either. We can be big, powerful beings too. And we are, as melanated brothers and sisters. Everyone has a divine ability and or skill, because the divine gives us everyone that. But melanated brothers and sisters, we have a different magnetism. Tap into it. All right, let's get to this song, Opportunity. And I'll be back after this, and I'm going to get into the 4 spellbreaker statements. And I think I'm going to read the page from my book first, and then the 4 spellbreaker statements. And keep on breaking down how everyone has a divine ability. Kind of ran through that. How everyone has a divine ability and or skill, small or big, It depends on our perspective, how we view things, how we are in the core of that soul. All right, we're back after this. Opportunity.
Shit. Wake up music. Brothers and sisters. Yeah. Yeah. What the heck we waiting for? We can have so much more. Opportunities knocking at the door. Yeah. knocking at the door. Brothers and sisters, what the heck we waiting for? Yeah, and we can have so much more. Opportunities knocking at the door. Yeah, a man is knocking at the door. Brothers and sisters, what the heck we waiting for? And we can have so much more. Opportunities knocking at the door. Knocking. A man is knocking at the door. Brothers and sisters, what the heck we waiting for? I gotta see, making sure we clear out in these streets. Gotta be a beast righteously, making sure we here and we on our feet. Protection for our family. I gotta stay firm and watch out for the greed. And yeah, we'll be good. I man up in the soul. I'm trying to touch my family, sisters, and all my bros. And yeah, be a warrior and a general. And in this life, be bold and never ever fold. I gotta keep the spirit so deep in thee. In this life, this the only way that I can be the E. The same way I am, I want you to be too. I want us to be happy in this life and make it through. I want us to be happy, never having no blues. And man, it feels so good, man, when we true. Ooh. Yeah, what the heck we waiting for? Opportunities knocking at the door. Knocking. A man is knocking at the door. Brothers and sisters. A man, we have so much more. A man, we can get so much more. Brothers and sisters, what the heck we waiting for? What the heck we waiting for? Opportunity, man, it's knocking at the door. Man, I'd have been through a lot of things, but I'm here today, and I got a sane brain. I'm thankful for my brothers and my children and my family. I always talk about that, man, on every beat. Man, so deep, embedded, all up in my bones. How I stay up in this life, on these songs, and I stay strong. Yeah, stay and stick with that divine zone in my spirit. Yeah, in this life, I keep on going, we can hear it. Yeah, so deep within. It's the only way that we can win. And we do the process every day again and again. Thanking that great divine. Every day I wake up, I'm trying to touch my family, brothers and sisters. Man, stay tough. Woo! Yeah! We got so much more. What the heck we waiting for? Opportunities knocking at the door.
Real talk, brothers and sisters. Knocking at the door. I love doing music. It's beautiful. When one come in tune with their purpose. Remember, in whatever ability and or skill that is, only we know what that is. Great Divine knows, but it's always going to say it together, folks. Deep in the belly of that soul. I'm telling you. It's wonderful when we can get to that space. All right. So let's get into it, brothers and sisters and generals. Those who've been riding along with a brother. And as you can see in the intro, that song I just played at that same beat. So, yep, opportunity. So when you hear that, you know what that means. And remember, the word unity is in the word opportunity. Ponder that. So let's get to these 4 spellbreaker statements, and I'm going to lead you divine warrior zone to your divine life with 2 pages from my book, Solitude Strength. So let's get into it. Leaders and teachers with a student spirit, All right, spellbreaker statement number 1. Explore, read, and research or write. Express our thoughts. The words of Bruce Lee. Salute. And because it's good to write things down. And I got so many notebooks and compositions and paper. I got papers all over the house. I got to organize them. My son, Lord Lamont, said that I need to take I got rhymes I've written. And I mean, not sound like I'm bragging or nothing. I'm just stating, I'm sure a lot of us do this. I'm not the only one, most of us that speak, I'm sure a lot of us probably write and stuff like that. And a lot of mine is on paper. Most people probably digital, but mine's is on paper. And I got stuff dated years back, rhymes, notes I've taken from, speakers I may have listened to and statements I've written. I've got papers written on Malcolm X, papers I've written when I used to watch Professor Griff's lectures, Bob Marley. I got papers written on Bob Marley. Just various little jewels I've just written down throughout the years. So again, I got a book called Unlocking the Vault, 50 pages. And again, starting the second book, 8. I'm up to 8 pages. I got half of a eighth page written in Solitude Strength. So it's fun. It's like a journey. It's wonderful. And again, like Bruce Lee said, we get our true thoughts and put it on paper, come from our soul and be honest with ourselves when we're writing. Don't write to impress or be intelligent or write big words, be authentic, write how we really speak. Of course, we want intelligence to be involved too, but also be honest with ourselves when we're writing. And you can see it in the writing, and it's beautiful. So that was Spellbreaker statement number 1. Explore, read, and research or write. Express our true inner thoughts and put them into words on paper. It's beautiful. Seeing what we are, it's like seeing our core of our conscience on paper, and it's just, and we can share with others, but it's for ourselves. So salute to that. Great advice from the great Bruce Lee. All right. Spellbreaker statement number 2. Stillness can seem a little unordinary, but embrace it, because when we first begin into, Great Divine bring us into moments of silence and Mama Nature, and get in nature when we can, like on the banner. Like I said, wherever we are, we're fortunate to be in open field and somewhere where there's no one else around. Embrace those moments. Appreciate those moments, because those are the times we'll have an aha moment, or we'll get something that'll drop in our spirit. When we pull ourselves off that hamster wheel, as I was speaking on a little while ago, and slap away that pellet. Don't be no hamster on the wheel waiting on no pellet. I love saying that. Yep. And but it takes awareness, studying, learning, staying away from things that pull us away from learning the beautiful things about ourselves, so we can tap into our abilities and or skill and stay on this course. Don't forget to have fun, enjoy, and keep love within too. Solid love, like steel. Stillness, STILL, and STEEL. We need both. Ponder that. So Spellbreaker statement number 2. Stillness can seem a little unordinary, but embrace it, because the world will make you pull you one way and that way. So that's, again, channel what we let come into our psyche, what goes in and what goes out. Stay balanced, best way one can. All right. Spellbreaker statement number 3. Great Divine gives us the power to pay attention to time, person, place, thing, world, etc. That's the stepping back thing, slow time down symbolically, get a grasp. It's like taking a magnifying glass and putting it on the whole world. Be surprised what we'll see, but we have to be in that space to even be thinking like that. But guess what, folks? Many of us are. So a lot of lights out there. I would have to say it's a lot more waking up these days than ever. I'm seeing a lot of that, but I say that a lot because, again, when you're in them righteous circles, we'll know who the generals and the spell breakers are, whether in our family, brother and sister, a child, in the world, online. And it'll lead us to Mama Nature, like the banner here, and the beautiful mountains and the water. Just imagine being right there on that water, looking out onto the water. That's beautiful, All right, so Spellbreaker statement number 3, like I said, Great Divine gives us the power to pay attention to time, person, place, thing, world, etc. Seeing through the good and the bad, but cling to the good, the great, the better, the betterment of humanity and our culture, even within ourselves. Real talk. All right, moving over to Spellbreaker statement number 4. The most important place we must conquer is our inner world righteously. Nothing can F with us, period. When we conquer our inner world, when we conquer that inner world, the outer world won't stand a chance. And, it's like we don't want to, those of us that are enlightened and have been studying human nature like decades, really got it down pat. And it's brother, sister, family, male or female, anyone that knows themselves and knows their surroundings and really it has a sharp awareness. And it's like we want good for everyone. We seek the best in everyone, but unfortunately, everyone doesn't seek the best in us. And that's unfortunate. And it's kind of hurtful sometimes. But sometimes, because a lot of us don't want to be in drama, others take it as hurting them, or they take it the wrong way. And that's a weird place to be. It's like you don't want to hurt people, but sometimes in order to deflect drama and see the bigger picture in person, place, thing, in this world, etc., we have to almost, it's like by default, we hurt people, but we don't want people. We want everyone. Again, like it says in the title, everyone has a divine ability and or skill. Everyone has some kind of quality in their own way. And that's what people have to get back to, especially melanated brothers and sisters, because again, we're going to let our own food get our own plate of food get cold watching somebody else play. We got to cut that shit out. Real talk. And that's how this media and or social media, society, the world, you name it, will have us, but it's fun. Get into, like I said, learning oneself, our inner world. Don't always have to be a dramatic thing. There's some amazing fun things in us, folks. Real talk. That's why Great Divine is so adamant, and Mama Nature, and our most powerful philosophers. Why you think Bruce Lee and many others, I'm just using Bruce Lee as an example, why you think he was so powerful? Because dude was super, super in tune with his spirit within. He knew himself inside and out. And that's where we got to get to, and that is for me too. I always include myself, but man, enjoying the journey and know that we're close to there is a beautiful feeling. It's a beautiful feeling when we're close to the finish line, so to speak, symbolically, but it depends on who we are as an individual. Always go back to how we are in that core. What do we think our finish line is? Like I said a little while ago, earlier in this podcast, I pretty much reached my goals of what that Great Divine called me to be. My goal was to touch people's soul with my music or a positive word, and I've done that. Maybe not on a mass scale, but I have touched some generals. I've generated some generals with thus my son, Lord Lamont. So, started with him and the other brothers and sisters I, came along on this journey, whether in the world, online, children, I volunteered. So I've reached my goal, but it doesn't mean we're done. Again, we don't get to two things. We don't get to a space where we think we know everything, and we never get to a space where we think we're done. The job is never done. The levels never stop. It's unless you a person that just don't want to do nothing and don't want to explore new things. But we're never done. But we can reach a space where we say, okay, I reached my goal. Now I can we relax, but we don't relax, so to speak. We can relax as far as not being over anxious of reaching people and just let it flow. We get to that state. So that's why Great Divine teach us stillness. Like I said, it can seem a little unorthodox, a little weird, a little unordinary, and we become a little bit more, like I said, we analyze, we become more observant, which can be beautiful because it keeps us from trouble, and it helps us to see into the core of situations and not jumping off what impulses. Impulses can get you in trouble. I've been there, done that. So again, just, observe toxic impulses that's in the world. It's out of control in some areas, so that's why Great Divine and Mama Nature brings us to stillness every so often. It gives us a chance to learn our own behaviors, kind of give a little understanding or overstanding or understanding why individuals around us act the way they do. We don't give in to drama, but we learn from the so-called drama, right? So that's why it's important to conquer our inner world at all costs. That's when life becomes beautiful. We conquer that inner world. So that was the last Spellbreaker statement. And I'm gonna get to these 2 pages in my book, Solitude Strength. And it's a place of building oneself, healing in any areas. And again, this is things that you hear a lot of philosophers say, so just a different perspective. But again, I got pages, I got papers all around here. I just stuff I wrote. So, Lord Lamont, he was making fun of me. He's like, Dad, you need to get all this stuff and organize it. I got crap everywhere. Drawers full of papers. But you know what? The amazing thing is I know where everything is. Anything I'm looking for, like it just pops up in my memory bank, and I can remember what, even though it's, and they say, and I wonder if anybody else like this. I mean, I'm pretty organized, brother, but I've heard this, like some of our deepest geniuses of the world, I'm talking about righteous geniuses, not evil geniuses, can be some of the most cluttery people, but be the most geniuses. Like I said, I'm not a cluttery person, but I just, I got a drawer full of, notebooks and papers and stuff I read, and they're not really that they need to be organized. But again, like I say, I know exactly, like if I need some to read something or find something, I know exactly where it is. I know right where it's at in the drawer, because I don't know. It's like when we write something, it helps our memory. That's another thing. I think writing helps with our memory, and it keeps our brain sharp. It's good for our eyes too. So anything I've written, I know exactly where it is, and that's beautiful. That's kind of a skill and ability, to be able to remember things, because it's good because as we get up in levels of awareness, especially age, the human part, some of our human faculties will, deteriorate in some areas, but that's why we stay at it. Once we can catch on, because some of us awaken, so to speak, at an early stage in our life, maybe some later on. But as I said, folks, and it's anybody, when great divine and Mama Nature has a purpose for us, it's going to keep us strong. It's going to make us focus on areas to keep us healthy, so be thankful if we have, conquered our inner world. So just wanted to share that. So let's get to these 2 pages. My spell breakers, brothers and sisters, generals, brother and sister, family in the world online. Get in nature when we can. And that goes for me too. Study it. If we're not in it, study it. At least get a nature frequency. Like I got on the banner. I want to set that frequency, because we see, as I said, trends breeds prediction. And everybody shouldn't have the same thing on their thumbnail. Ponder that. Because that's prediction, and that's also trendy, and it's kind of herd like. Not trying to put nobody down or nothing like that, but we need to have our own lane, but that's just one's opinion and or theory. But at the same time, building generals, because it's a vibration, it's a righteous energy, and we need that. All right, so let's get to this first page, page 5, and this was 10/15/25. I like to put the date. All right, Solitude Strength, page 5. When we know our power deep within, the journey becomes clear. Our purpose becomes clear once that divine flame is lit. The rest is history. We transform into divine warriors or generals for a season. Then that great divine promotes us to a general. Oh, I just said that, didn't I? The ultimate awakening. Some get there sooner, some get there later, but it's definitely a great state of mind to be in, cause life can be unpredictable. So we as warriors and generals have to know the art of unpredictability. Have peace or wholeness in one's soul. It's so important. Divine has something to work with. If one is aware, mind, body, and soul, righteously deep in the pit of that soul. And if we have righteous in our soul, our subconscious, even a little bit, that gives something great divine can work with in Mother Nature, because we can't be evil and rotten to the core. We don't see nothing, because it's like darkness, Now, we've heard the saying, seeds grow in the dark, in the ground, but we're talking about a righteous seed, and it grows righteous trees. And as I say, as a righteous warrior, a general, we are all part of that same righteous tree. If one is righteous in that soul, just different branches, different parts of that branches, the small leaves, you got the twigs, you got the big branches, you got the leaves, you got the bark, and the most important of all, the roots. When it's all connected and grounded, you tell me what could stop us? Nothing, and that gives something. And the more powerful we become, that's just that much more a great divine and Mother Nature has to work with. So again, we're righteous in that soul. It gives those two forces something it can work with, because Nature moves on natural accountability. It's smooth. Nothing can move smooth with something that's against nature, that wasn't meant to be, or something that's like oil and water that don't mix. When one is in chaotic in their soul and always in drama and arguing and debating and all that stuff, danger, man, especially if you keep doing it well up into your golden years. And man, that's the worst space to be in drama. Look at some of these celebs, look at some of them. Their golden years are fucked. Real talk, some of them. That's just being blunt. So we could learn a lot from these so-called celebs. I'm talking about the ones that just went bad, So it sounds like I said, I'm an empathic brother, but I'm also a realist, as a lot of us are. We get a little more stern, a little more firm with that empathic ability, don't we, brothers and sisters? But we understand and overstand and understand at the same time, All right, so let's get to the second page. You might hear the page turning a little bit, because as I said, I write down. All right, let's get to the second page, Solitude Strength, and this is 10/29/25, page 6. Do not engage in unnecessary drama, as I was just speaking on, or pettiness, waste of energy and time. Silence is power, as we all know. We hear that a lot. Gives us time to assess person, place, or thing. Stay vigilant and aware, always and forever. Focus on what's important. We are surrounded by insecure, narcissistic some people, and I'm really talking about wicked entities of the world. I'm not really talking about our inner circles, but there are some there too. But I'm mostly talking about the weakest that be, that fucked this world up in the first place. All right, because we got to have a above and beyond thinking. But of course, we got those that are trying in our righteous circles too. So I'm gonna start that part again. Always and forever focus on what's important. We are surrounded by insecure, narcissistic people. Silence helps to spot them. Again, if it's in the world or in our circles, etc., etc. Can't help those with a petty mindset. The power of unpredictability and mastering one's emotions keeps us sharp. And a lot of us know this, okay? So this is something I written. And ready, sharp and ready. It keeps our emotions strong, sharp, and ready. Okay, I'm gonna start that again. The power of unpredictability and mastering one's emotions keeps us sharp and ready. When we are in the right, we don't have to explain to anyone. Everyone has a choice. If they're healthy and aware, one must stay in preparation mode, as we have joy, fun, love, and righteous connection to one another. Those who don't get it, that's their loss. Real talk all day, every day. Everyone has a choice, and I'll use myself as an example. And I always kind of bring up, and I told Lord Lamont this, how I used to be back in the day. I haven't always, thought this way or been this way, or, and took time to think and all that kind of stuff. Haven't always done that, brothers and sisters. It took learning. It took going through lessons, hard truths, and like I said, some get there soon, some get there later as brother, sister, family. But be thankful if we get there in the right amount of time. And just being a righteous humble, not a pushover humble, not a naive humble, but humble nonetheless. And just being thankful for where that great divine got us. Because if we alive and breathing, brothers and sisters, we are back to conquer another day, another year, and another decade, as well as family, So don't get all bent out of shape and, be thankful where we are. Again, we alive and breathing, stop taking shit for granted, And gratitude, that's another thing Bruce Lee taught, and many other great philosophers and historians along the way. Gratitude is a beautiful thing. So have gratitude about yourself. Think about the good things that we have done in this life and find our ability and or skill and grow from it, wherever that is, small or big. Don't look at other things, brothers and sisters. You can be powerful. Those who listening, you are powerful. It's in you. It's in all of us. Great divine brought it out of me, so it brought it out of all of us. I ain't special. I just know, like those of us that do have a gift and we glowing and shining out here, it's something we always had. We just finally started paying attention to it. And all melanated brothers and sisters, and just people in general, if they buckle down and stay away from the bullshit, you can tap into that cosmic, divine, spiritual world and connect with Mama Nature, like the banner here. It's beautiful, man. I talk about nature all the time. It's wonderful. It was a time I didn't, So if I can do it, anyone can. Real talk. If Lord Lamont can do it, anyone can. And he been through some heck of a battles. Real talk. Lord Lamont had been through things that most people have took themselves out. He's had friends that took themselves out, and also I have. And they had everything, So that let you know it don't matter what we have in this life. Money, we got a house, cars. Like I said, your goals change as we get a little bit more aware and a little more wise, or up in age. Goals tend to change a little bit. They're more than just money and houses and cars. And I mean, we can have a goal of finding our soulmate, but and that can be a part of our goal, but don't let that be the end all be all. But don't lose respect or love, because if we don't keep love within, we won't see things. Or if we are single, and this could be male or female, we'll miss those we may connect with. So we can't carry around bitterness and downtrodden. No, we be the powerful spell breakers and generals that great divine has called all of us to be, especially melanated brothers and sisters and family in the world, online. So that was some things I had in one spirit, and always seek to be more powerful. We are cosmic beings. We can think big like that, but not in an arrogant way, not in a selfish way. We only go in we go in moments to ourselves with that great divine and speak with him, ask some questions, because I've done it. Ask that spirit questions and pinpoint any challenge, whether it's in ourselves and in the world, but especially in ourselves. Conquer that inner world. I beg you, brothers and sisters, general, and just know, family, brother and sister, I'm telling you, if you haven't learned anything else from me or Lord Lamont on this channel, and salute to the warriors and the generals out there and those that came in to another edition of EBX Discussion. I will always share inspiration one feels when that great divine put it in me to speak, and I'm so thankful for the inspiration one has got on this journey from brothers and sisters, family, even those who comment. It's all inspiring. I love it, because like I said, I think I've reached my goal, but it's time to hit another level. Now it's time to go even deeper into one's mastery. And that's for any one of you, anyone listening, get even more powerful, be unstoppable. And always know, brothers and sisters, everyone has a divine ability and or skill, or should I say divine, let's see, how did I say it? A divine ability. Everyone has a divine ability and or skill, small or big, brothers and sisters. And don't you ever forget it. Salute.